Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day, great week. And today we're going to talk about what is in our water supply, what is in our drinking water. And so we're going to start off with PFAS, polyfluorinated chemicals, also known as forever chemicals. And they're called that because once they do go in the environment, they last for an extremely long time. I'm not even sure if they really do break down, but they do build up in your blood and organs. And that's really all we do need to care. That's what we really are focused on is our health. And then next we'll move on to something a little more controversial. Fluoride. It really shouldn't be that controversial, but it is, and we'll get into that. But so PFAS, polyfluorinated chemicals, there's over 3,000 of them. They're synthetic chemicals from agricultural or industrial runoff. There's certain products in the military that they've used over time that leaks into the ground. And so these things, they've been saturated into our drinking water, and the chemicals are used in certain things like Scotch Guard, certain tapes, and they phased out a lot of this stuff over time because they found that it's dangerous, but yet it's still in our drinking water, and either the government officials just aren't spending the money cleaning it up, or for whatever reason, And then the EWG, they did a test in 2018 following the EPA's test, because the EPA did a test in 2013 to 2015. It was a tax-funded study that they never released the results from. They told us everything was safe, but they never released the results. So obviously, the EWG did not trust these guys, and I feel like most of us shouldn't trust these guys if they're not going to share their results with us, especially when we fund it. We funded it. And so the EWG did a study in 2018 testing all the water supply, and they found that pretty much 1,500 water supplies up to 100 million Americans are contaminated with this stuff, and they've done the data on pretty much in every state, and they found out that there is extremely high concentrations of these chemicals in a lot of the states. Not all of them, obviously, but in a lot of them, and and so, like, what are the health concerns from this? It causes cancer, endocrine disruption, accelerated puberty, liver damage, and we don't want to be drinking this stuff. And if they don't want to clean up the water, they should at least be telling us to buy filters or something, or at least warn us. They put warnings on everything else, cigarettes or whatever else, and to warn us about our health, but they're not talking about the thing we need that we're 70% made of that we're drinking every day, that it's poison. It's got chemicals in it. And so we move on to fluoride, which is it's more controversial, like I said. And the reason for that is that the CDC on their front page, one of the things they say is one of the top 10 inventions for mankind. Okay, and that sounds pretty good, right? Like, obviously it's one of the best. They say it's one of the best things, and the reason they say that is because it prevents dental rot, and that is the only reason. There's no other medical benefits that they claim, or anything that I found, other than dental rot. Okay, and that brings us to, before we even go into like the science and the studies behind it, how does that make any sense that to prevent dental rot you have to drink water contaminated with this chemical? It doesn't make any sense. When you drink something, it doesn't just affect your teeth. I'm sure it does a little bit, but it goes into your body, it goes into your bloodstream, it goes into your organs, it goes into your brain. And so how can they think this is okay for us to drink, especially when there has been numerous studies since they have put this stuff into the water supply? A lot of people do not trust it. A lot of people have ran studies on it and shown how detrimental it is to us. There is it is pretty scary, man, when you start, if you do the research and you start reading these studies and just the lists of problems that they've studied and connected to it. It's terrible. It's cognitive impairment, dental and skeletal fluorosis. Skeletal fluorosis is where your bones start basically rotting. Dental fluorosis is where your teeth basically start rotting, and apparently this stuff is good for your teeth, but it can cause dental fluorosis, and that's one of the reasons that they had lowered it to 1.3 to 0.7 in the last couple of years. which 0.7 per liter. And I, I don't think that doesn't make any sense to me personally. I don't. It doesn't feel like they're really caring about our health. You know, uterine cancer, diabetes, and really one of the scariest, I think, is the studies they've done on IQ related to fluoride. You know, 72. They've done 72 studies since the 50s, since they've been putting fluoride in the water and how it relates to IQ. 62 of them found a link from fluoride and IQ deficiency, like dropping off 4 points in pregnant women that are drinking fluorinated water. Just one thing. There's a lot of evidence piling up against fluoride and how it affects IQ. And this brings me to my last point is how why are they having us drink this, you know? I'm not going to come on here and like give you all my thoughts and beliefs on it, but you can make an educated guess, man. Why are they still telling us to drink this stuff when there are so many people that are against it, so much evidence, so much science against this? And yet they've known this stuff isn't great for us. There's governmental websites and studies that basically prove there's nothing really good in it for us, and yet they still recommend it to everybody. And this is the scary thing with PFAS in Washington. There's a list of all the highest PFAS, and in Washington I saw it was really low, it was 0.7, and some of them were at like 100 parts per trillion. And I was like, wow, Washington's really got their act together. That's so awesome. But I go, and when I start researching fluoride, the first ad that pops up, it's trying to tell everybody in Washington residents how great fluoride is for you, you know. And so it's like, yeah, they clean up all the chemicals and stuff, but they're still having us drink this stuff that lowers our IQ, you know. And I'm laughing because it is kind of crazy, you know. I get blown away by this stuff. I'm like researching this. I'm like, wow, man, we are really poisoning the crap out of ourselves. And you know, the amount of cancer that has been rising over the last years, you know, how this could definitely be linked to it. Both of these chemicals are linked to cancer. Both of them. You know, water, we drink it all the time. We have to drink it, otherwise we die. So if you poison the very source of life, how is your body going to react, you know? And you can answer that question. But, you know, there is a silver lining. A lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are realizing that this stuff isn't great, you know? And even if it was okay for your teeth, which there's not a lot of evidence supporting, why are we drinking it? You know, why are we drinking it? If fluoride's that great, just put it in the toothpaste. I'm not buying toothpaste with fluoride in it, but, you know, put it in the toothpaste. Don't make me drink it, you know. And there's fluoride and other things, so this abundance of fluoride in our systems causes mass problems, you know. And so that's kind of how I'll end it. But other than that, guys, I hope you're having a great time. Stay educated, learn as much as you can, and just don't take everything for granted, man. There's a lot of stuff in this world that we don't understand, and there's a lot of people that will play on that, you know. There's a lot of people that will play off of your ignorance, you know. And I hope people can realize that. All right, everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.